So today we are going to discuss about salient features of the Constitution. So till this point, from your point of view, what do you think is unique to our Constitution? This taken from so many sources. Nice. Okay. Different sources. அப்புறம் சொல்ற ஆன்சர்லாம் கரெக்டா தான் இருக்கும். ஜஸ்ட் ட்ரை. Nice. Have you come across any constitution which is not amendable? Then how this future you think will be unique to India? No. I'm just asking, just to provoke your thinking. How can we think? That's all I'm asking. It is not about right or wrong. Nice. Very cool. Yes. Till now, what you have you know what is the amendments till now happened? What is the number of amendments to the Constitution till now happened? Nice. Okay. Then any other features you think of Indian Constitution? Okay, written. Then சும்மா சொல்லுங்க. Very good. 3. நேற்று டவுன்லோட் பண்ண பாத்தீங்களோ? எத்தனை பேஜஸ் இருந்துச்சு? டவுன்லோட்லாம் பண்ணலையா? ரெகுலேஷன்ஸ் அப்படின்னா என்ன சொல்ல வரீங்க? வாட் யூ மீன் பை ரெகுலேஷன்ஸ்? இல்ல, ரெகுலேஷன் ரூல்ஸ். ஓகே. 5. You're telling there is rules and regulations mentioned in the Constitution to how to run the government. That is what you are coming to say. Can I write it as administrative details? How to administer a country is detailedly mentioned in the Constitution itself. Nice. Then cool. Inclusive in the sense, ஏதாவது example? Okay. Secular. Nice. No privileged class. Then, is there any other you can think of? Okay. neither rigid nor flexible. Very good. Then meditation all over silent. Just speak something. You can tell whatever you want. Our class every room. Please come. Nice. Okay. Sir, do you think anything, any future is very unique to Indian Constitution? You already know many of the things. Whatever you said till now are silent features of our Constitution. Okay. So, very first thing is, it is very, very lengthy. Lengthiest written Constitution of the world. This is one of the lengthiest written Constitution. So, what is meant by written Constitution? Is there anything called unwritten Constitution? Unwritten, written. No, I am telling about written. Written in the sense it is a documented thing. Whosoever is talking, please talk loudly. Yeah. American Constitution is? Yes, written. Then? Okay, nice. So in Britain, we don't have a written constitution. Though there is no specific document which we refer to as constitution, it is evolved over a period of time as conventions and many judicial pronouncements, and whatever all parliament do is what we refer as constitution. There is no one single document which is known as written constitution in UK. Whereas in our case, it is very lengthiest written constitution. Why it is lengthy? Any reasons? Very good, very good. Nice, nice. So, what is the reason behind it? Diversity in the sense what you are mentioning. Diversity in what sense? Nice. Okay. இத பத்தி எல்லாம் so okay. Very good. So diversity and geographical sense. Because of India's diversity and because of India's geography, we find our constitution is very lengthy. We have to cater all sections of the people. Okay. There is protection for many of the things. Can you have any soft copy version of constitution with you? Please take temporary transition provisions, where once erstwhile article 370 was there. Irka? (370, 371). What is the title of the heading part 21? What does it say? Special provisions, temporary, transitional, and special provisions. Okay. So you just read article 371, just heading alone. It is not necessary. Please read. Someone read loudly so that everyone can hear. There is special provisions with respect to states of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Yes. 371B. Heading alone. Just read the heading alone. Yes. State of Assam, special provision for Assam, then special provision for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, then special provision for University in Andhra Pradesh, special provision for Sikkim. So, because of our diversity, because we have to accommodate everyone, we are mentioning a detailed version in the constitution itself. That is also one of the reason why our constitution is very lengthy. Do you think any reasons can contribute to the lengthiest nature of our constitution? Do you think any other reason? Okay, that is also one of the reason. Then is there any other main reason? So previous classes you have studied about historical development. What was the last act which was governing us till 1947 and 50 till we adopted our constitution? The act 1935 act itself is very detailed. 1935 act itself is very bulky. We incorporated the same structure which was in 1935 act. There was a union government, there was a provincial government, there was three lists was divided between the union and the union and the state. Okay, so we have almost incorporated most of the provisions in 1935 act. In this first place, this is lengthy. As a result, this is lengthy. Any other reason? Someone told about linguistic factor, secular in nature, so it is included possible every other possible provisions. Someone said, you have said administrative details, no? So how a government should run, what specific powers and what can be done, what cannot be done by specific institutions, it is mentioned in a detailed manner in the constitution itself. All administrative details are mentioned. That is also one of the main reason why our constitution seems to be very lengthy. Okay, then what else you said? Is there any other reason you can think of? Do you know any socio-economic profile of Constitution Assembly? That is also one of the criticism of Constitution Assembly. Constitution Assembly, who are the members in the Constitution Assembly? Who are they? Just tell. சத்தமா சொல்லுங்க, ஒன்றும் இல்லை. Yes. Most of them are lawyers. Legal dominance, legal luminaries are there. What these people do, lawyers, புரியாத மாதிரியே பேசிட்டு, they don't explain things in a simple manner. That is the problem of these people. So that is the reason why our constitution is also very lengthy. So whosoever you may take in most of the members of the Constitution Assembly, if you take and look at their profession, most of them are lawyers. Start from Rajendra Prasad, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Munshi, Ambedkar, you name, most of the people will be lawyers. That is the reason why if you read a bare text of the Constitution, you don't understand. That is one of the reason. Okay, next. This is the next thing. We have drawn it from different sources. So our constitution can be divided into basically 3 parts for understanding this topic, which means philosophical part, structural part, and political part. What is a philosophical part? What does it mean? Provisions from sayings of the leaders. Philosophical part. Is there anything you can say of any provision which is related to this part? Nice, very nice. Then in DPSP, which leaders? Gandhi. Then can you say any provision in Gandhi? Article 39 is about villages or what? Article 39 is about reducing concentration of wealth. We'll study in a detailed manner in DPSP. The thing is, what philosophical part is, both fundamental rights and DPSP combine to form philosophical part. Why it is known as philosophical part? Because it provides basic things for a human personality to develop. Both if your fundamental rights and DPSP is not there, the development of a country and the development of an individual is not possible. Then structural part. What I mean by structure? From the term structure, what can you think of? Structure அப்படின்னா என்ன ஞாபகம் வருது? Nice. 3 levels of government. Okay. Levels of government. Nice. Then okay. ஒரு காம்ப்ளிகேட்டட் டேர்ம் சொன்னா இப்படி உங்களுக்கு எப்படி புரியும்? Structure in the sense how it looks. How it looks is, we have 2 governments. After 73rd and 74th amendment, we have 3 governments, including panchayat. That is one thing. These institutions are there. One is legislature is there. One is government structure, executive is there. One is judiciary is there. How it looks. This structural part is taken from everything was there before 1935 Act. So we adopted the same act. Since we have adopted most of the things from 1935 Act, we have adopted the 1935 Act structures in the 1935 Act. Then political part means what does political part means? How a polity works. What form of government we have? Democracy. Then someone said, I think. Okay. Form of government. Parliamentary form of government. So we adopted this political thing from British Constitution. British parliamentary form of government. What do you mean by parliamentary form of government? Nice. Parliamentary form of government is, you elect your representatives, they go to your body, they speak on behalf of you, they elect laws, they enact laws on behalf of you, they govern behalf of you. And the important thing is, real and nominal executives will be there. Someone for the namesake will be there. Someone with real power will be there. In case of India, who are those persons? Prime Minister is the real head. Okay. President is the nominal head. President is the head of the state. State in the sense is here in India. President is head of the state, whereas Prime Minister is known as head of government. So he has the all powers. In reality, he exercises all the powers, Prime Minister. Okay, that is de facto de jure head. We will be seeing while we'll dealing with president. Okay, just to know, we are following parliamentary form of government that we adopted it from British. So someone said, you said we have borrowed it from different sources. Can you name some other things? Nice. Then, so fundamental rights from America. Then super nice. Very good. Irish Constitution. Then, okay. Preamble is in most of the constitutions. Nice. Very good. What is quasi-federal? So, yes, quasi-federal in the sense your power sharing is slightly tilted towards center. Central government has more power when compared to your federal governments, which is state government in India. So it is borrowed from Canada. Then nice. Is there any other thing you can think of? Very good. You already know most of the things. Liberty, equality, justice, or fraternity. It is from French Revolution and from French Constitution. They have taken it. Then, is there any other thing you can think of? So from America, we have taken the post of vice president. From America, we have taken how to remove our president. Impeachment of president. The procedure to impeach the president. From Canada, we have taken, since it is quasi-federal form of government, they also follow. What you have taken from themselves is they also have a strong center. Appointment of governor by the central government. Governor of Tamil Nadu. Who is governor of Tamil Nadu? Ravi. Okay. He is appointed by president on the advice of prime minister. So union government appoints governor in the states. That is also we are taken from Canada. And we have seen yesterday something called residuary powers. Residuary powers in Indian constitution is with the parliament. That is with the central government. That is also we have taken it from Canada. Germany எதை எடுத்திருக்குமா என்ன? Is there anything we have taken from German constitution? Anything we have taken from South African constitution? Anything taken from Japan constitution? So we have emergency provisions, you know. 1935 Act itself, it had emergency provisions. In our constitution, part 18 deals with emergency provisions. During emergency, your fundamental rights can be suspended. During emergency times, your fundamental rights can be suspended. That suspension of fundamental rights during emergency is taken from German constitution. Australian constitution. You take Article 301. Just read the heading of that part, 301, where 301 starts. Till 300A, it is separate part. From 301, a separate part starts. What is the heading? Freedom of trade and commerce throughout the India, which is throughout the territory, is taken from Australian Constitution. There is something called the joint sitting of the Parliament. Anyone knows about it? So normally a Parliament bill has to be passed separately by Lok Sabha and separately by Rajya Sabha, and then it have to get the assent of the President to become an act. Okay, but in case of any disagreement between Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, what they do is they sit together and decide. That is joint sitting of two of the houses. That we have taken it from Australian Constitution. South African Constitution. So it is process of amendment. What we follow now. Process of amendment. Then process of nomination of members to Rajya Sabha. There is a provision in Indian Constitution. Some members can be nominated to Rajya Sabha. Do you know any prominent member which is nominated from Tamil Nadu to Rajya Sabha? Nice. Music director Ilayaraja is there, no? He's a Rajya Sabha MP. Before this, Mary Kom, Sachin Tendulkar, they were Rajya Sabha MPs. Did you hear anything? They have fought the elections and won to. They have been nominated. Okay, that provision we have taken from South African Constitution. Then Japan. Someone can read 21, Article 21. Read the article. Hitting. Okay. Read the article. 21.
Protection of life and personal liberty.
All the article.
No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law.
There is a word called procedure established by law in Article 21. That concept we have taken it from Japan Constitution. Procedure established by law. That article alone is a separate class. Okay. If I explain the money too. So B.R. Ambedkar himself in Constitution Assembly has made a statement that our constitution has been product of ransacking 60 other constitutions. So we have taken it from many other sources. We have tweaked a little bit and adjusted it to our own scenario. That's why till date constitution is working fine. You see in Nepal, you see in Pakistan, you see in Sri Lanka, these countries got almost independence at the same time, but they have changed their constitution several times. Civil unrest happened. Sometimes in Pakistan, government will be there. Sometimes military will be there. Burma, new constitution has been recently formed again, now known as Myanmar. So since we have adapted it to our own conditions, it is working very fine. So there is nothing wrong in copying if it helps you. Constitution பொறுத்தவரையில் it's applicable only to constitution. Okay, any other thing? Neither rigid nor flexible, which means our constitution can be amendable. That's why we have 105 constitution amendment till date. The thing is, you cannot amend the constitution so easily, and it is not also so difficult to amend the constitution also. We have find a middle path. So whenever we wanted to amend something, we were able to amend. Why amendment is necessary? As pointed out, society is changing. It was constituted in 1950. So constitution has to be kept in pace with the changing realities of the world, of the society. It has to cater to the aspirations of the people. So it has been amended continuously to keep in pace with the society. Whatever society needs, that needs are fulfilled by amending the constitution. So do you know any article which talks about amendment? 368. Take that amendment. Sorry, take that article. The ரொம்ப பெரிய article. Just read the heading or so article 368 says about power of the parliament to amend the constitution. In 368 alone, there is two process prescribed. 368, under 368, you can amend the constitution in two ways. So I don't know what were you doing or what were you studying when GST came. GST ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? It was amended till yes 2016 it came into force. I am telling about the procedure. I have told 368 provide for two things. நீங்க சொல்லுங்க. You might have known. சும்மா சொல்லுங்க. So first kind of amendment is special majority by parliament. Parliament can amend the constitution by special majority. We'll come to discuss what is special majority, how many members are needed. That is not needed at this point of time. We'll come to that. Second type of amendment is parliament by special majority plus half of the states should agree. If you are making any amendment, half of the states should also agree with it. Why states should agree? One is parliament alone. One is parliament plus state legislature. Do you see any why this has to be there? Is there any logic behind it? Under 368, there is two process for amending the constitution. One is parliament can alone amend the constitution. Second thing is if you are touching certain provisions or changing certain provisions, you have to get the approval of the states. Why is that? Yes, provision can, which is going to be amended, can concern the states also. Which means whenever you alter the federal provisions, which deals with both center and the state, that has to get the approval of the states also. Okay. So apart from 368, can you amend the constitution? Is there any process to amend the constitution apart from 368? சத்தமா சொல்லுங்க. Simple majority, which means you are effectively amending the constitution, but not through 368. You are changing the constitution only, but you are not going via 368. Can you name any provisions, any examples? Can you read Article 4? அதுல ஆர்டிக்கல் இருக்காதுப்பா. ஆர்டிக்கல் பேர் மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும், ஆர்டிக்கல் இருக்காது. Four.
Laws made under Article 2 and 3 provide for the amendment of the first and the fourth schedule and supplemental, incidental and consequential matters.
அவ்வளவுதான் இருக்கா?
Any law referred to in Article 2 or Article 3 shall contain such provisions for the amendment of the first schedule and the fourth schedule as may be necessary to amend for the purpose
Okay.
of the law and may contain the supplemental, incidental and consequential provisions, including provisions as to representation in Parliament and in the legislation or legislatures of the states or states affected by such law, as Parliament may deem necessary. No such law as opposite shall be deemed to be an amendment of this Constitution for the purposes of Article 360.
Second class மட்டும் ஒரு டைம் படிங்க. Class 2.
No such law as opposite shall be deemed to be an amendment of this Constitution for the purposes of Article 360.
Yes. So what Article 4 says is, if you are making any changes via Article 2 and Article 3, that change will not be a change under Article 368. So if you are what Article 2 and 3, other than next class. Okay. If you are adding new states, or if you are making any new states out of India, recently formed Telangana, அதோட recent Jammu and Kashmir reorganization. Jammu and Kashmir was split into two union territories. If you are making such changes, you will be making changes in Schedule 1 and Schedule 4. That is effectively Constitution. Schedules are in the Constitution. So if you are making changes in the Constitution, that will not be amount to amendment under 368. Any other example? If you are increasing number of judges in the Supreme Court, initially it was provided 5, now it is 33 plus 1, 34 plus 1, 9. So time to time changes has been made. Then Article 169, creation of legislative council in a state. Like in the Parliament we have 2 houses, some states have 2 houses, lower house and upper house. If you want to create an upper house, that can be created under Article 116, and that is also a not amendment under 368. So something can be amended away very easily, like passing a normal law. Some things can be amended by Parliament alone by special majority, something can be amended by Parliament plus states. This is very, very difficult. Outside 368 is very, very easy. You have 3 procedures, which makes it is neither rigid nor flexible. Done? It is up to the states to decide. If you want, you take it. At one point of time, Tamil Nadu had. If you don't want, you can abolish. That has to be done by Parliament alone. You request here in State Legislative Assembly by passing a resolution, that will be passed by Parliament. If I, as a state, Tamil Nadu, I want a second house called a Legislative Council, I will pass a resolution here. I will send it to Parliament. Parliament will pass a resolution there, then you can create your legislative council. Yes. Like any other law which has to be passed by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, like every other act that has to be passed. Okay. Yes, you are creating for your own state only, no? Why they will have a problem? They won't have a problem. Then someone said quasi-federal. Quasi-federal is strong unitary bias. Okay. Federal in the sense both units, both union and the federating states will have powers. But in case of quasi-federal, it is slightly tilted towards center. Can you name any provisions which gives more power to the center? Education. So yesterday we saw there are number of entries in the list. We saw some 97 entries. We saw 66 concurrent. We saw some 50 odd or 40 odd. So with respect to union government can make laws in union list and concurrent list also. Okay. And if there is any problem, if you are making laws in concurrent list, if there is any conflict with the state laws, which means what is the meaning of concurrent list? In that entry, like if for example prevention of cruelty to animals is an entry under concurrent list. I as a state in Tamil Nadu, I want Jallikattu. I will enact a law. In the same entry, center can also enact a law. What parliament will do is they will pass a law terming that Jallikattu is not allowed, which will prevail. Central law would prevail. Is there any conflict between state law and central law in the concurrent list? Central law will prevail. Okay. So even though you can make laws in concurrent list, when come to concurrent list also, upper hand is with the union government. Okay. Then appointment of governor. What you people are studying, All India services. You write an central government exam. There is a separate body which makes recruitment. Union Public Service Commission. There is a separate body which trains you. Ministry of Personnel, Department of Personnel which trains you. You train under Dehradun. Then come to be posted under state. You are a central government officer working for a state government. So your immediate control is with the central government, sorry, immediate control with the state government, but your ultimate control is with the central government. These kind of all India services, which makes union hand more heavier. Next, emergency provisions. President rule. That is also another silent feature. (352 to 360), which talks about national emergency, which talks about state emergency, which is president rule, and which talks about financial emergency. Union government can declare emergencies. When emergency is declared, union government become all powerful. They can enact law even in the list which is in the state list. We have saw some 66 entries now. They can make laws in that entries too. When emergency is in operation, country becomes a single government country. It becomes unitary. Then Is there any other silent feature? A blend of parliamentary sovereignty versus judicial supremacy. So this is in UK. This is in US. We are in somewhere in between. We don't want that also. We don't want this also. We are in between. We adopted little bit of this and little bit of that. What is parliamentary sovereignty? Parliament can do anything, which means the power of the parliament is not restricted. Since there is no written constitution in the UK, power of the parliament is almost unrestricted. So what there is a normal saying in UK that the British Parliament cannot do only, it cannot make a woman man and a man woman. Other than that, it can do anything. But what in case of USA? Their judiciary is all powerful, where we can't have the concept of judicial review, which means if Parliament makes any law, US Congress makes any law, which is not in tune with the Constitution, the judiciary of the USA will strike it down. You understand? But what we follow in India, is there any similar provisions in India? Please take Article 13. Someone read Article 13, class 1.
All laws imposed in the territory of the Union is the full commencement of the Constitution, and so far as they are inconsistent with the provisions
Class 2 पढ़ेंगे.
the state shall not make any
Yes,
law
again Sattama पढ़ेंगे, class 2.
the state shall not make any law which takes away or abridges the rights conferred by this law, and any law made in contradiction of this law shall, to the extent of the contradiction, be void.
Which means Article 13, class 2 says, if you make any law which is contravening the fundamental rights of this country, that law will be declared void. We have the concept of judicial review. But what Parliament can do? It can overrule the decision by amending the Constitution itself. Parliament can make changes in the Constitution also. Here, laws and Parliament amendments to the Constitution can be declared by judicial review also. We have both. What you said earlier, proper checks and balances were there. This is another feature in our Constitution. Article 13, class 2. Then, how about our judiciary? What kind of judiciary we have? Independent judiciary. Then, I don't know the number. Okay. Independent and integrated judiciary. What does it mean? மெட்ராஸ் ஹைகோர்ட்டு 11 மணிக்கு மேல அங்கதான் போகணும். Independent judiciary in the sense, what does it mean? It is free from any influence from the government. Even though judges are appointed by the president, how judges are appointed? That we'll study in Supreme Court, not High Court. You just remember the name collegium system. கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? Have you heard of this word, collegium system? Judges themselves recommend who shall be the next judge to the government. Government will appoint them. Why this is done? Because to keep it independent. If president appoints, there is a possibility that judges may give favorable decision towards government. What if government stop finances to the court? சம்பளம் கொடுக்க மாட்டேன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்கன்னா, what if they stop salaries? What if they dismiss them, impeach them? That power is with the parliament. What if they remove those judges? Then how independence of judiciary can be maintained? For that one, need constitution provisions protects judicial from other interventions, which means whatever the expenses which a judiciary incur will be given to them without being discussed from the consolidated fund of India. என்ன கேக்குறாங்களோ கொடுத்துருவாங்க. That expenditure is known as charged upon. When they pass the budget every year, certain amount will not be discussed, will not be MPs, Lok Sabha MPs don't have the power to discuss those. They can discuss, they cannot vote or reduce it. So that your independence of judiciary can be maintained. Their administrative expenses, every expenses are charged on the consolidated fund of India, which means they are not voted upon. Whatever the charges, they will be deducted from the consolidated fund of India. Okay. What do you mean by integrated judiciary? If I do a murder, first I will be tried in district court. அங்க எனக்கு சென்டென்ஸ் எதிரா வந்துருது. Where I will appeal, there also the judgment is against me. Where I will appeal. So one single law, the law is same. It is implemented throughout. Whereas in case of USA, state laws will be judged by state judiciary, federal laws will be judged by federal judiciary. Here, irrespective of the law, you can appeal till to the highest judiciary. You understand? புரியலையா? புரியுதா? இது வரைக்கும் நடந்ததெல்லாம் புரிஞ்சதா? Sure? Till now, anyone has any difficulty? See, if there is any, when you study emergency provisions, you will be very clear. So there is 3 type of emergency. One is at the national level, one is at the state level, one is financial emergency. So if Manipur level state emergency போடணும்னா it can be implemented. That is different. If state emergency is there, that particular state will only be affected. நம்ம டீடைல்டா படிப்போம். Emergency is a very detailed chapter. What happens, என்ன procedure, it will be very detailed. And like in US Constitution, we have fundamental rights. Fundamental rights is inviolable in nature, which means
Has to be provided for all.
yes, it can be given, it cannot be taken away. That is what you read in 13.2. If you make any law that takes away fundamental right, judiciary will step in and strike down that law. Okay, even though you have fundamental rights, that is not absolute, which means you cannot do anything. Your freedom has some restrictions also, which means every freedom is not absolute but qualified. You can enjoy your freedom within certain corners, within the borders. I have freedom of expression அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு I have the right to express அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் 4 இடத்துல பாம் வைக்கிறேன்னு வைங்க, that cannot be done. You have freedom of expression, that cannot go against law. Okay, then we have DPSP. What is the difference between fundamental rights and DPSP?
DPSP is a choice which the government has any funds or something, then we can go with DPSP.
Nice.
Fundamental rights is not.
Yes, fundamental rights both talks about rights only. In case of fundamental rights, state has to provide, the government has to provide. But in case of DPSP, it is not necessary, but it should be the fundamental in making policies. As far as possible, you try to implement those. If anybody violates this, you can go to court. If anybody violates this, you cannot go to court. Fundamental rights is enforceable, justiciable. DPSP is not justiciable. But that does not make fundamental rights greater and DPSP smaller. Both are at the balance. Fundamental rights and DPSP, the bedrock of balance between these two is the basic structure of the Constitution. This has been set in Minerva Mills case that we will study in DPSP. Okay, I'm just telling. This balance should not be disturbed. It should be in equal parlance. Okay, do you find any other salient features? Everyone has finished degree? காலேஜில் படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கீங்க? Okay, so how you joined the college? Okay, is there any category? Is there any provision which provides in the Constitution? Is there any provision in the Constitution which provides a reservation in educational institutions, even though it is private? Is there any provision in the Constitution which provides for reservation in the government services? You are writing UPSC. Again, cutoff is different for different categories. Is there any provision in the constitution which talks about reservation? And you have seen, if you have followed any news or if you have voted, Kerala vote போட்டிருக்கீங்க? Who have voted till now? Is there any person who have voted in the election? That whatever constituency you have voted, is there anything called reserved constituency or general constituency? Have you heard anything of this reserved constituency or general constituency? What is that? Can contest. Yes, that is also reservation. Is there any provision in the constitution for that? Affirmative action, what we call reservation in legal term. Take Article 15. Under Article 15, read 15 clause 4. Is there any capital A to it? படிங்க சத்தமா. Someone read it. 15 clause 4. Capital A அதா இருக்கா? 15 clause 3.
The state is permitted to take any special provision for the advancement of various social and educational development facilities or for the scheduled class activities.
அடுத்த கிளாஸ். 15(4) capital A. Capital A இல்லையா? 15(5). Sorry, 15(5). 15(5).
Nothing in this article or the surplus G of class 1 of article 5
Okay, shall you start from shall?
shall prevent the state from making any special provision by law for the advancement of any socially and conduct of citizens or for the scheduled class or scheduled rights in so far as such special provisions related to the admission to institutions, including higher education institutions, whether aided or unaided by the state, other than the minority education institutions under the class 1 of article 5.
You understand what was that? State can make any provision or any law for the advancement of socially and educationally backward classes, including SC and STs, for making reservations in educational institution, whether it is aided or unaided, that doesn't matter, we will make reservations. Done. 16. Same 16(4).
Nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any provision for reservation of appointments or post in favor of any backward class or citizens which, in opinion of the state, is not adequately represented in the service under the state.
Yes. So under a state, if you are providing some job, you can make reservation for these people if they are not adequately represented. This is in case of state government employment. That is in case of state whether aided or unaided educational institutions. Then go for Article 330, 331, 332, 333. You just read the headings. That will be sufficient. 330, 331, 330.
Representation of the underlying community in the House of
That is 331. Now it has been removed. Then 330, 330. What was that?
330. Reservation of seats for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in the House.
House of the People is Lok Sabha. In Lok Sabha, there is a reservation of certain seats, certain constituencies for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Those people who belong to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe can only contest.
What if they are not scheduled caste?
Someone will be there. Some party will make someone to stand. பேருக்கு அவர் எம்பியா இருப்பார். Yes. Parliament you are asking. Yes. They are an MP. That's all. He asked if no other person is willing in that constituency to contest, what will happen? I said some other party will make someone to stand. So this is in case of Lok Sabha. Similarly, certain seats are reserved in case of state legislative assembly also. That is 334, I think. Yes, what is the heading? 334.
Reservation of seats and special representation. Seats after.
Yes. 70. See, this reservation in Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly was initially provided for only 10 years. For the first 10 years, அதாவது 1950 constitution came into force. For the first 10 years alone, certain seats were reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. After that, this provision was this period was continuously extended till now. Why? If you take it, what will happen? Initially, it was only in the original constitution. If you read, it will be given only for 10 years. Why after 10 years it was continuously extended? Vote bank politics. That is one of the reason. One of the reason, not the only reason. If you make these changes, if you stop this, that party won't come to power next time. Done. Like many other countries, like USA got independence way before in 1770s. They give voting rights to everyone around 1960s only. Women got very late, black people got very late. Whereas in case of India, we have universal adult franchise, which means whoever crosses the age of 18 is eligible to vote. Go for Article 325 or 6. (326).
House of the People and the legislative assemblies of states.
This is of adult suffrage, which means whosoever crosses the age of 18 years, they can vote. It is provided in the constitution itself. 326. Okay. Earlier it was 21 years of age. After 61st Constitution Amendment Act 1989, it was reduced to 18 years of age. Why? The reason stated in the parliament is youth are more and more becoming active towards politics. They are mature enough to take decisions, to elect leaders of the country. So there should be lowering of the age from 21 to 18. What will be the consequence of this? Yes, number of voters will get tremendously increased. Since India's population is very high, people in the age bracket of 18 to 21 suddenly got the right to vote. Will they vote? To whom? புதுசா ஒரு பவர் கொடுக்குறாங்க உங்களுக்கு. This government lowers the age to 16. Assume this NDA role in the center amends the constitution and lowers the age from 18 to 16. What will be the logical, I mean, a normal person will do? 16 to 18 years of vote, who gets the first time to vote? They will vote that person. That might also happen. It was in 61st Constitutional Amendment Act, it was lowered from 21 to 18. Okay. So earlier it was 21, now it is 18. It is provided in Article 326. This you should remember. Other political things you forget. That is for classroom discussions. Then these are some salient features of the Constitution. Apart from this, we have certain bulwarks of the Constitution, which means which keeps check on whether the system is correctly working or not, which is independent, like judiciary that we have seen. Other than this, you can you think of any other body? If that body is not there, it will be problematic. Election Commission of India, they work independently. Then yes, your UPSC and state public service commissions. I don't know about state public service commissions because I have written only UPSC. So then, is there any other institution you can think of? Any other mechanism? RBI is independent and provided in the Constitution. I'm telling. We are saying about Constitution of India. RBI is established by under 1935 Act. Also, there is powers under RBI Act 1934 also. There is an institution called CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, under Article 148. What does he do? UPSC there is a service called as India Audit and Account Service, IA and AS. 2 year notification பாத்துறீங்களா? Have you seen notification? What are the services UPSC conducts exam? India Audit and Accounts Service, IA and AS. CAG is the head of that department, of that service. What is the duty of CAG? CAG is he keeps audit and accounts of all funds in India. Consolidated fund, public accounts of India, contingency fund of India. Correcta selavu பண்றாங்களான்னு பாப்பார். He will see every account. He will submit the report to the president. That report will be submitted in the parliament. That will be discussed. If you have remember few years back, CAG report is tabled in the parliament, which brought about the coal scams which has happened. That is one of the institutional mechanisms which helps to run our country very good. These are some of the salient features of our Indian Constitution. Done? Everyone have doubt irukka? No? You have any other doubt? Do you want any clarity till now? Summarize it. चलो Attorney General government vakil. Attorney General is the first law officer of this country who is appointed by the government. Government kedra case varthilla, who will be representing the government, union government in whatever cases they are involved. You have seen maybe live streaming pathingala same sex marriage was discussed in Supreme Court. Live streaming was going on. Who appeared? Attorney General will be there, or else below them Solicitor General will be there, or additional Solicitor General will be there. They are nothing but government side advocates. They are for the government. Whatever views of the government, they will represent their views of the government and in the court hall. Okay, they are also part of executive. He is appointed by the president himself. Okay, in case of union government, it is Attorney General. In case of state government, it is Advocate General. Okay, so we have seen salient features of the Constitution. So first thing we seen is the lengthiest. Our Constitution is very lengthiest Constitution. We have seen what is the reason for that. The reason for its lengthiness. First thing is it is adopted 1935 Act. Second thing is geography of the country. Third thing is every administrative details is mentioned in the Constitution itself. Okay. Next, we have seen different sources. In that, we have seen where is our philosophical part was drawn, where is our political part was drawn, where is our structural part was drawn. Other than that, we have seen from which constitution, which provisions was taken. Then we have seen rigidity, neither rigid nor flexible nature of our Indian Constitution. Under that, we have seen under Article 368, which provides for two types of amendment. One is with Parliament alone can be done under special majority. Other thing is Parliament in special majority plus half of the state legislature should agree. Other thing we have seen outside the 368, there are some provisions which Parliament can themselves change in the Constitution, but that will not be amount to Constitution amendment under Article 360, like admission of new states, creation of new states, abolition and creation of Constitution. State Legislative Council, increasing number of judges, that we have seen. Next thing what we have seen is its inclusive nature. Under that we have seen, and inclusive nature we have seen what are the provisions are there for affirmative action, what are the provisions there for reservations. Then under quasi-federal we have seen how it is power sharing is tilted towards center. We have seen what are the provisions, like how governor is appointed, how emergency provisions operate, why all India services is there. Then we have seen emergency provisions. Then we have seen the difference between parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy. We have adopted a midway. Apart from that, we have given universal adult franchise, fundamental rights and DPSP. We have seen why it has been there. It is also one of the salient features of the Constitution. After that, some constitutional mechanisms which serves as bulwarks of the Constitution, which preserves democracy, like CAG, Election Commission of India, UPSC, and State Public Service Commissions.